We just found out that Marvel tried to demote Mahershala Ali in his own movie. Two-time Oscar winner Mahershala Ali, I'm sorry.
Mahershala.
Thank you. Say it for me. Say it again.
Mahershala Ali.
What she said. Mahershala Ali, who is set to star as the title character in Blade reboot, was nearly demoted to a supporting character in his own film. A two-time Oscar winner, y'all, was about to be demoted. Here's further details. Ali signed on for an eponymous role of a vampire. Things looking promising for a 2023 release date, but that project has gone through at least 5 different writers, 2 directors, and 1 shutdown 6 weeks before the production. 6 weeks. One person familiar with the script premiations says the story at one point morphed into a narrative led by women and filled with life lessons. Blade was relegated to the 4th lead, a bizarre idea considering the studio had 2-time Oscar winner Ali on board. As I said, listen, 2-time Oscars, if you win Oscar twice in Hollywood, you should be able to write. You usually can write your path to do whatever you want to. Mr. Ali, I'm sorry for butchering your names. Not into movies like that. I like books. Sorry. But yeah. Yasmin, what do you think about this idea that even Marvel is willing to, ban someone with 2 or demote someone with two Oscars just because they had some kind of some problems with the script that was being presented?
Yeah, Marvel is Disney, and Disney has become highly problematic on both sides of the aisle. Like, even if you want to look at it politically, like people on the right have issues with Disney and Marvel. And people on the left do as well. And I was big into Marvel. I was talking to you guys during the break, and I was said, after Endgame, I had to stop because they were just doing too much, right? And by doing too much, they're watering down like the whole Marvel universe, right? And now you have Blade, who is actually like the first Black superhero, even though a lot of people like to ascribe that to Black Panther. But the fact that they're bringing Blade back from the 90s is a big deal. And a lot of people are very excited about it. The fact that they got Mahershala Ali to play him is incredible, because he is incredible. If you've seen him in anything, he really is a great actor. And the fact that Disney still can't give him the respect that he deserves, or the character the respect that it deserves, is really, really sad. But I don't know, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I think this is par for the course. I don't support. I mean, I'm not a big fan of any billion dollar industry, and I think this is just absolute disgusting. It also shows, why Black people keep saying the Oscars is so white. It doesn't even matter if a Black person wins an Oscar; doesn't carry the same weight. No Disney movie would have demoted Meryl Streep, and that is a fact.
Meryl Streep.
Amid reports that Ali was ready to exit over script issues, Feige went back to the drawing board and hired Michael Green, the Oscar-nominated writer of Logan, to start anew. Speculations around town is that the studio is looking to make the film, now slated for 2025, on a budget of less than $100 million, a deviation from Marvel's big spending strategy. How is it that $100 million is their strategy? You have that much money that you can spend $100 million on a movie is unbelievable to me, especially when these movies are usually made right in front or in close proximity to people starving. Meanwhile, at a retreat in Palm Springs, Marvel leadership reportedly considered swapping Kong, played by Jonathan Majors, out for arguably Marvel Comics' greatest villain, Dr. Doom. According to Variety, Doom is one of the many backup plans for Marvel presidents Kevin and his team considered earlier this year during the annual retreat this September. The reason for questioning Kong and the need for a backup plan goes deeper than poor box office performance and lackluster movies. MCU, that's Marvel Comic Universe, is currently being played by Jonathan Majors, an actor whose star was once on the rise. I would say it's still on the rise, but who has been accused of assault and sexual misconduct by a number of different women, including criminal charges filed against him. Major set to appear in court in late November, which could make Marvel's decision on whether or not to move forward with the actor more straightforward. But it remains to be seen whether or not the Disney-owned studio will continue to work with the actor who is in part of so much public controversy, no matter the verdict. Here's a tragic situation about the Jonathan Major situation. This and I'm not a fortune teller, or I can't tell you the future, but what we're seeing is this is actually a case where the person who said she was assaulted actually came back and contradicted that. Her incidents, her movements that night after she said that, and where she was and how she was reaching out, actually contradict this story. This is the problem, and this is also the reason why we need to make it more easier for women to come forward about what's happening to them as it pertains to intimate relationships, because we can then feel comfortable adjusting and also having conversations about, this is another one of these sticky situations where it's hard to have a conversation about what's truly going on. And I think part of that is because what's at stake now is what the last sentence of that statement from Polygon was, which is, they don't know if Disney's going to work with majors, whether or not, if he's guilty or not. That is to say that you can taint yourself for being nothing or doing nothing. Even if you're not guilty, you still lose all of your livelihood, which may be the case for Jonathan Majors in this incident. Yasmin?
Yeah, I think about that a lot, actually. And I, for the record, haven't really been following the Jonathan Majors story specifically, so I don't really have an opinion as far as whether or not he's innocent. But it's true. All it takes really is someone to make an accusation, and then whether or not that's true, the image is already planted in someone's mind, right? And then that is certainly in the world of Hollywood and social media, that kind of docks your social currency. Somebody could say something, you can come out and defend yourself, but at that point, you're already fighting an uphill battle, right? So that can happen. That seems to be what Jonathan Majors is dealing with right now. And whether or not he is innocent or guilty, I guess maybe we'll find out, and maybe we won't. But either way, his career is taking a hit for it. I also have a lot of thoughts on Marvel Studios and Disney, and the way that capitalism, I think, kind of infringes and impedes on artistic creativity and expression and things like that, and on movies. Right now, out of Marvel, what we're seeing is a lot of very formulaic and predictable movies coming out of there. A lot of them shot in front of green screens, a lot of them shot, as you mentioned, in places where there are suffering people not far. Shout out to the Mulan movie that just came out. So there's a lot of issues with it, right? And it's all just such a money grab and a cash grab. And they're trying to do too much. They're trying to appeal to certain groups. They're trying to appease other groups, right? They're trying to play this balancing act. And it all just comes across as disingenuous. It all comes across as lazy. And we all know why they're doing it. They just want money. They're capitalizing on nostalgia, and et cetera. And I can go on about this, but I won't. I'll stop there.
Yeah, I think you're spot on about there's no ties or no care for what's going on in these communities that they're portraying. Is absolutely disgusting. Then it also lacks cultural relevance. This was my complaint about the Black Panther. It was missing so much as it pertains to the African American experience. If you notice, the only two African Americans in the movie that that was Black Panther was the Black Panther, not Black Panther, the villain, and then his girlfriend, and the villain killed his girlfriend, and then the only other representation was the Black Panther's mother, or I should say, T'Challa's. Is it T'Challa? I don't know the character. See?
Yeah,
not T'Challa. Who was the villain?
Killmonger.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah,
Killmonger. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Killmonger was the problem, and so it had this crazy looking at American Black people as that they needed to be saved even by Africans from the continent because they are not capable of love, which is what they showed in Killmonger. And if you gave them the opportunity to have something as powerful and beautiful as vibranium, they're just going to use it for harm. So that movie was absolutely problematic. And it was Killmonger's father, who was of African descent, not African-American descent, that was lovable. His mother wasn't even talked about, and when she was, it was about abandonment. So it was a pretty horrible experience to be Black American sitting in Black Panther watching that movie, even though it was an all-Black cast. Moving on, we see the recasting of Majors as an option. We also know that happened before when they replaced Terrence Howard in Iron Man 2 with Don Cheadle. All of this is still unmarvelous, and it's so par for the course when you talk about capitalists.